Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Steve on the level, Thomas Van der Zander, Cannabear, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Amish Battle Merch, Sensual Goat, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, the name's Burley, Todd Wassel, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, JMels24, Lamento, Iron26, Endless, Goldie McKinnon, Retro Bill, Level Plain Poem, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Mel B. Styles, Harry Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W., Dale West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show. I've been having a load of internet issues and been meaning to contact our internet provider to ask if there's anything that can be done about it. And as a consequence, I've changed the way the Wi-Fi gets transmitted around the apartment with one that runs on the mains. And that seemed to improve things vastly. But then today, out of the blue, the internet just switched off out of nowhere. And normally when that happens, if there's a, they're doing a major overhaul, the router will start flashing and things will start restarting and things like that. But it didn't. It carried on functioning and the internet went away. I'm like, that's very unusual. About 10 minutes later, get a knock on the door and it's cable guy, if you like. And he's like, hi, I'm a cable guy and I want to check all the connections. I'm like, why? He's like, because on the new network, we can track down any faults on the network down to a single house, and it's yours. So I want to check all your connections. I'm like, okay, fine. So he comes in, checks the back of the router, and then checks what I thought was just a wire coming out of the wall, and actually isn't. It's like on a beauty plate. Takes that off, and there's another concealed box. And he tightens up two of the connections, like, these two connections are loose. I'm like, oh, yeah. So he tightens them up, tests it, and he's like, no, it's all working right. So I'm like, so I've just spent 50 quid on a box to try and solve this problem, and it's actually something that's hidden behind a faceplate that I didn't realise was actually I vaguely remember them drilling the hole, and then when they put the faceplate on, I thought it's because the cable came straight out as a cable, but it doesn't. It goes into a little junction box that's got a little circuit in it and a fuse in it and all the rest of it, but I was unaware of it. But on that little box, it was causing my internet problems, so me moaning about it, now hopefully that's actually resolved and proactively by them, not me contacting them, which was just astonishing. I couldn't quite believe it. Like, I've been having internet issues and suddenly a knock on the door, I'm your cable guy that you didn't even know you needed. I'm going to fix your problem that you didn't even know you had, that you've been trying to solve because you thought it was something else. You're like, oh, wonderful. Anyway, I better go and join the politics server.
Have happened literally, which is cool. Okay, it's pretty cool stories, but the metaphor still runs through it. Okay, so it's useful to think of these metaphors, even if they were literal or not, to think about them as if they were literal, because that will bring you to understanding God's glory.
So let me ask you something. Do you think the name of Adam is just a metaphor? You
Yeah.
think that so it's not, his name wasn't even Adam at all. You
It
just
could
think
be
it's a
anything.
metaphor.
Yes, it's a metaphor for
So
just the human mind.
in Hebrew, the reason why he gave Adam that name is because it literally means like man.
Yeah, so that's a very useful metaphor. It's describing man. We
So
are men,
so the word
and we act like
so
men,
you don't believe
humans.
that he even you don't believe in Adam and Eve? You
No,
don't believe the story that of the fall of why sin even is about? Like, you don't believe the
I
entire story
okay.
about,
So
dude,
the
you're not a
story of
Christian, bro.
sin is a very
Take that little
powerful
photo off your
story.
thing, bro. You got a cross on it. It's like blasphemy, bro. Like,
Think
everything
about it,
about you
dude.
is not you, bro.
Think about it, dude. Like,
I don't like
the
people like you. I'm
story of
sorry.
Adam and Eve is
Sorry.
useful metaphor to understand. Okay,
Yeah, it's all metaphor,
what they
bro.
highlight is
So that's
knowing of good
metaphor.
and evil.
And then
Okay,
when a scientist tells you that star is 76 trillion miles, that's not metaphor. That's fact. Dude, you're
no,
lost,
no,
bro.
no, no. That's
You need to
not the
go check
same. That's
yourself.
not the same
You need
thing.
to
I'm
go
not
check
saying
yourself.
that's fact.
You need to
I'm
go
not
check
saying
yourself,
that's
bro.
fact. I'm saying
You
all
heart
that
Jesus.
implies
You're
is
blasphemous,
that it's
bro.
really
You're
far
demonic.
away.
You
You're
probably
not
have that
understanding.
title no different than a
Dude, yes,
satanic
it's
person
scary
that
to
wants to try to win somebody
confront
over,
our
bro.
thoughts. It's scary to confront reality, absolutely. But at some point,
The
we
reality
do
is
have
you're
to
a
come
front.
to terms with
The
real
reality
sort of
is you're a front.
observations about it.
The
You can
reality
think
is
that,
you're a
but
front,
it
bro.
doesn't change reality. What you
Your
think
You're
about
right.
me
You're
does not
right.
change reality.
You're right. It
your
doesn't change reality.
indoctrination, your indoctrination to the
What
heliocentric model
indoctrination?
has got you to
The one that
to
you're
think that the
defending.
whole Bible is a
Your
metaphor. That's
indoctrination to
what it's
flat
done to you.
Earth has got
That's
you
That's what
crazy,
it's
thinking that
bro.
done
the
to you.
Earth is
That's
flat.
crazy, dude.
So what?
You
It's
don't
not
even realize.
indoctrination. Sorry, hold on. It's not
Okay.
indoctrination when you measure
It
the Earth.
is indoctrination when you
A
can't
measurement's
measure the Earth.
indoctrination.
You
What
cannot
the
measure the Earth in the way that
water?
you want measurements. Where is
Water.
your first-hand measurement, okay, that a parallel line, that a vertical line 100 miles away from another vertical line is exactly parallel? Where is that measurement, that direct measurement between both of those vertical level lines? You don't have it. You do
No,
not know this information.
there
You
Yeah.
was
cannot know this information.
a an observation done down in the south. Here, I'll post it for you. Here's actually a few of them. I'll post it for you. Those are some observations that were taken through different means. You can check it out. You can zoom in on it. Um, the experiment, quote unquote, some were laser beams, some were just using telescopes, some were the geodesic GPS in building that would actually show you how you have the expected obstruction because the way, like from the distance,
Okay, I'm not on about
From
obstruction
the
here. This is,
no,
yeah,
no, no,
like,
no. Listen, the obstruction of the curvature of the Earth, right? And then there's another one in that list where they did actually to see if the buildings were diverging, and they did the test, and they were far apart, like many, many miles apart, the buildings, and they by the observations they figured out that they're not diverging. So I don't know what. There's no evidence that can be presented for you to know the truth because I don't think you are to know the truth.
so you can't
You're in the
know the
light.
truth. Yes, it's
You're in the
very
light.
difficult, like
no,
God
No,
yeah.
described.
no, you can
Very
know the truth.
difficult.
No, you can know the truth, but you
How can you
believe the
know the
lie.
truth?
What of the way that water lays horizontally when we can measure
Right.
that and use that as a
Yes,
datum to measure
but it's
angles
on
to
a
these things that
very
we're talking
large
about?
surface. So I'm
But
just going to post
we're
something in
using
chat just as an example
we're
because it
measuring and using
might help,
sea level as
although
a
no one does
horizontal
use
side of a
examples.
fucking triangle.
If you measure a triangle from the North Pole, you go to the equator,
I'm talking
and then
about
you
the
go
North Pole.
round a
It's the
bit, and then
mountain.
you go back to the North Pole. Your
I said a
triangle will
mountain.
have angles
I said a
greater
mountain.
than 180 degrees.
No, it won't.
Yep,
No, it
but
won't.
you can't measure a perfect triangle. I'm saying you can't measure a triangle on the sphere because the inner angles will be greater than 100. No, but the angles are greater than 180 degrees,
No,
showing
they're
it's
not.
not.
You're just saying that. No, no. See, that's where
Why are
you're
you talking
wrong.
about this? I'm talking specifically about an elevation angle to a mountain or a lighthouse, just using a basic triangle. We can get to
Okay.
the North Pole in a minute, but we can use this very practical way to use geometry and measure
I
heights
just
and
posted a
distances.
practical way to use geometry. What do you
Awesome.
think about that?
What is that?
Is that true or false? So it's a human laying on a 1.95 meter ball, a 3.9 meter ball, a 7.8 meter ball,
Why?
15
Why are
meter
you giving me
ball,
this?
to show you
No, this is
how
ridiculous.
curvy you should expect the surface under you to be.
What, over miles, hundreds of miles? Sorry, Matrix. Over hundreds, if not thousands of miles of distance. What are you talking about?
Yes. Well, so what's wrong about that image?
It's not 100, if not 1,000 miles.
So in chat, so just because you measure with flat angles, all right, look at the example of the 8 kilometer or 8 mile 8 kilometer diameter circle. Like, just because you measure with a flat thing because it's useful for tangents, because the surface is so the curve is so gradual. It doesn't mean that it is flat. It's a conflation to say, oh, we use the word horizontal, horizontal only flat, therefore
why are you
world is
chanting?
flat.
This is really
Like
weird.
it's a ridiculous conclusion to make.
It's not, because both ground
It's
positions have to
measured
be on the
flat,
same
but it's
horizontal.
curvy because you say tangent. What?
Yeah, the argument as it stands is just because we measure it flat doesn't mean it's flat.
That's crazy.
Yes, it does.
Uh-oh.
That's exactly what it means. It means we measure it flat. If we measure it flat, it's
Okay,
flat.
so show me a plumb-built wall in Australia being perfectly vertical to a plumb-built wall in the United Kingdom.
Why?
Can you show? Because that would prove that we're on a flat plane.
Okay, go ahead and
But
do
you
that
can't
then.
do that. So you don't know.
Sorry, I haven't suggested I can. This is your straw man example that your burden of proof reversal.
Is this Nathan? I refuse to talk to this sadist.
Fuck off.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you obviously don't know what words mean, but you still want to argue.
Meanwhile, I'll make my conclusions.
You're measuring it. That is to know.
Yeah, we've measured it flat according to his own words. Doesn't want to talk to me. That's absolutely fine, because I can make a conclusion hopefully unimpeded. Yeah, by his own concession. Just because we measure Earth flat doesn't mean that it's flat. It's useful for tangents. No, tangents aren't the surface, but the surface is what's measured when we measured it flat. Therefore, it's flat, because that's how we measured it. There are no curve measurements, and any inferred use of these must be flat because they're angles measurements would link to a single point tangential to a dangling sphere beneath. No, because we're measuring the surface. So we're measuring the surface flat. That's basically the end of the argument, by his own concession. That's why he's quite angry. Wants to call me a sadist when I step in to point this out, no doubt. But that's okay, he doesn't want to talk to me, because he knows he'll get annihilated when his own concession made it absolutely clear that, in, quote, his words, just because we measure it flat doesn't mean that it's flat. Yeah, it does. That's exactly what it means. I like playing a clip of that guy telling us just how flat we must measure it. Utterly epic. Well, now he doesn't want to talk to me. Yeah, I don't mind playing his clip. Like, this clip will get clipped out with him telling us, just because it's measured flat don't mean it's flat. Yes, it does.
You sound pretty pissed off, man.
Who does? The guy who just called me a sadist?
No, that wasn't. No, that's a different one. Yeah, it's a different one. What do you mean, you people? Yeah, you sound pretty upset. Like,
Sorry, hold on real quick. You just what's going on? Why are we discussing upset levels when I'm discussing how Earth's been conceded to be measured flat? That's got nothing to do with the discussion on the table, geeks. What we're discussing is how he's just conceded that Earth's measured flat. Do you want to address that as opposed to people's emotional levels? That would be the discussion point in debate, as opposed to your assessment of people's psychology and emotional levels. I'm not finished talking. I'm not finished talking to geeks who just wants to ad hom people. Geeks is obviously incapable of actually having a reasonable discussion and needs to chant through the fact that I'm highlighting how stupid his ad hom was. It doesn't have any address to the discussion when you discuss people's emotional levels. Meanwhile, Earth has just been conceded to be measured flat, with a caveat that just because it's measured flat doesn't mean it's flat. That's the discussion point on the table, geeks. Did you want to address that?
I believe the Earth is flat. I believe the Earth is flat as well. You just sound upset. I'm sorry I annoyed you. Apologies.
No, right. Well, it doesn't matter if you believe the Earth's flat. That's a non sequitur to your ad hominem fallacy when discussing how upset people are, regardless of your beliefs. Who cares?
Well, I do. I care.
Well, do you want to go to some psychological forum, some forum that deals with people's emotions, as opposed to a flat Earth debate forum when we discuss where Earth's flat and when the opponent on the globe side concedes it? You're assessing people's emotional levels in response to that. So you're in the wrong place. Regardless of your affinity with flat Earth, you're in the wrong place if you're here to discuss people's emotions. Is that clear, geeks?
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I upset you. I apologise.
Sorry, can you remove this guy, this asshole who's just here to tell me that I'm upset? Because that's the second time he's done it in spite of me pointing it out in... Why am I getting chanted?
I've
only been here 2 minutes.
In another room just an hour ago.
Okay, so...
all over the condo.
Yeah, just a tech housekeeping thing. So, Nathan, can you see the stage?
Can I see the stage?
Yeah, it's right. It should be right below 2024 election.
Low
and it'd be the
2024 election. Okay, let
stage.
me just scroll up and have a look.
Yeah, scroll up. It should be open to you because I'm pretty sure you've got hosting perms, which means you'll be able to move people up and off stage and mute their mic. And then me, AJ, and Matrix will make sure that the text channel stays within TOS.
Can you move me? Do you know how to move me in there?
On stage, Crit.
Sorry, just one second.
Oh yeah,
No,
but I don't think Nathan will be able to delete text comments, so it'll be on us to.
That's fine. I don't need to. I don't really want to either. But I can't see it anywhere. Can you move me in?
Hang on.
Not necessarily now, but in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was not open yet for everybody. It's only open for a few people. I thought you would be included.
Yeah. That's marvelous because it means there's less rumpusing. But for the first,
I can't tag you. So here I'm gonna go up there and open it and see if and then see if I can tag you.
Once it's open, I might be able to see it in the list and can jump in on the hour, like in 15, 16 minutes. But at the moment, I just can't see it in the list because presumably it's not available for me. I'll have a look once he's opened it.
Yeah, it's not available to. I don't think Aurora's opened it yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's myself and Crit on stage with you, and then we've got a few others as backups, but others in the chat, so we should be good.
But props to Jedi and Apocryphon, because you're taking Ilya's very swiftly to the conclusion that I took him to initially when I was speaking to him. Now, obviously, he doesn't want to talk to me no more, that's fine. But you've got him to say, well, just because we're measuring Earth flat for these angles that you want me to talk about, while I want you to describe why we would have parallel lines with respect to vertical, an axiomatic principle that's employed in celestial navigation, you show me that that's the case. Well, somebody did. But then swiftly, I think it was Jedi that took him back onto the elevation angles, and he swiftly conceded. Just because it's measured flat, and then he started muttering about what would be measured flat, doesn't mean it's flat. Well, yeah, it does. So well done. I think it was Jedi that was there with the coup de grace, to be perfectly honest. But then we're talking about emotions as opposed to, yeah, isn't that interesting that even the globe believer has to concede that we are going to be measuring Earth flat for these angles. But that doesn't mean it's flat, says the globe believer, who's very upset. But obviously it's then going to be taken straight to how upset I am while I point out the conclusion that Earth's measured flat, like that's in the slightest bit relevant from someone who claims to be a flat earther but still wants to tell me that, oh, well, I just thought you were upset after you've been told off for not doing that because it subverts away from the flat Earth measurement that's just been concluded, thanks to Jedi. Right, I'm done.
Yeah, the measurement is to know. Who cares what you believe after that? You believe it's flat? So, okay, that doesn't make any sense, but go believe what you want. You believe it's a ball? That's stupid. You just acknowledged it was flat, but go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, he wanted to take the argument to the poles, things diverging away from each other, the vertical positions, and that's when you know that you're just lost. Because then, right after that, he then got into his, well, if you took a circle so big and you zoomed in real small, it's flat. Like, dude, kidding me? That's crazy. And then wanted proof that where's your measurement that things aren't diverging from one another, and then started talking about spherical triangles with spherical axis. I was like, dude, they don't even do it. That's not even true. But that argument's old with that guy. He's a front. He's a fraud, a wrench, if you will.
Yeah, the problem that he has is that all zeniths are perpendicular to the horizontal plane, to the plane of the horizon. All zeniths are.
Yeah, so that
the only way for you to find your fix
to have vertical.
Exactly. The only way for you to find your fix or your position is because your zenith is parallel to all the other zeniths. It's the only way you can pinpoint your position.
Exactly. It's a principle you must employ if you're going to navigate. But the straw man would say, you prove that you can measure it that way. It's like it is measured that way. That is how it is measured. We're not assuming that we've got diverging zeniths. That's absurd and won't function in any way, shape or form. But what, I've got to prove that they're parallel? It's an axiomatic principle that's utilised in celestial navigation. But you're going to challenge me to prove it? Yeah, celestial navigation, done.
That was easy.
They're always explaining these measuring angles and using sea level and horizontal, perpendicular, plumb. All these expressions have got nothing to do with curvature. They're explaining flat Earth angle and elevation angle measurements. That's what they do. That's all they can do because the Earth is flat, and that's how it's measured.
Yeah, well said.
Well, it helps us a little bit that conceptually you can't imagine a reality that doesn't involve reality. So you're not going to dream up a new world and have people without tying it to this one somehow. And that's, it's measured flat.
You'll have to join the G Plus panel one deck if you do want to join in while we're on the Flat Earth debate with Nathan Oakley section of the show. Like the live show, basically, is going to move into a slightly different room, and the mods will move people in as they've got questions. But if you want, you already are. All right, ignore me.
I've just got. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my disclaimer now for the politics server, because I normally do this at the beginning of the live show. We're here promoting the idea of Earth being measured flat, as you can probably hear being debated about. Excuse me if I'm a bit stuttery and stammery, I'm a bit under the weather. Nevertheless, please don't swear when we do go live in about 10 minutes' time. If you happen to go up on stage and ask a question, please don't swear. That's it. That's the only real thing I ask. Other than that, we're regulars on account of the fact that in this particular year, 2024, we would hope that people with a flat Earth inclination, number one, know Earth's measured flat, and number two, move forward on the front foot with that argument, as opposed to undoing the opponent's assertions of globiness. If you know it's measured flat, start with that. That's it. I'm done. Please don't swear.
Yeah, the funny thing is it's part of their rhetoric with the globe. It is not a contentious point, and it needs to be highlighted a lot more. It's like saying the emperor's naked, basically.
Prove he hasn't got any clothes on. No, we can see he hasn't. No, he's got invisible clothes. Prove they're not on him and invisible. What are you talking about?
Hey, Nathan,
well, we can all tell he's naked, but prove that he's not naked.
Are we all going to join the stage up at top before you go or after you go?
That's up to the mods in terms of how they're going to run it. I don't even know how to get into the room. I think I found it. It's right at the bottom of this page.
It's right at the top, like way at the top, right underneath, like it's right above channels and roles. You'll see join stage, but I see them in.
I see it right at the bottom
you're
of my
going
list,
to hell.
But I'll join in now just in case there's any issues, because obviously we've got 10 minutes to spare now. So rather than there being issues shortly, I'll join now. Obviously, I've got my own panel to keep our conversation going, but the one I see is called Flat Earth Debate with Nathan Oakley. I'll just join it and see what happens. Welcome to stages.
Nathan, you're going.
I was in the middle of telling Nathan that your guys are up here, and then I hit the join stage. Here he is. Oh, he came already.
Yeah, I was making sure the invites and everything are working. I was going to say, hey, someone raise their hand to make sure it's working good.
Okay.
Cool. Nathan, you can raise your hand by hitting that button.
Well, he should be good.
Yeah. He's got it.
As host.
I'm in here like a guest, like everyone else, because obviously this isn't my server. But my
No,
server...
I mean, for this event, I think you're given a verified celebrity role, whatever they call it. There's an internet celebrity role where they host a stage, and I'm pretty sure you were set up with that.
Which
So it's up
gives
to you,
you
Nathan. We can either bring them up and control everything, or you can do it yourself. It's up to you.
Okay. I just need to
should,
fiddle with
that
my
should give
settings
you
because I
also
can't.
the power to mute people.
Yeah, see with APOC if you can mute them or toss them off the stage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to be
yeah,
distracted
guinea
just for a
pig.
few seconds because I want to be able to put you on screen. In other words, I want the audience to see, but at the moment it's too low in the picture, so I'm going to have to fiddle with that. So just give me a couple of minutes just to fiddle with that.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, if he has that that role, then he should be able to mute and also kick off and move down as a listener.
Yeah, he normally doesn't want to do that, though. Normally he wants us to run the moderation for the show, so he just concentrates on his show. So we'll just ask him what he wants to do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's lots of different ways to make it happen. But I mean, this way, too, that... Yeah, I guess, whatever. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, that's true, though, because what he does is he actually mutes from his side because he controls what the listeners on YouTube are hearing.
Yeah.
So even though people are talking here, even though they're not muted, they're still muted on his show. So yeah, that's true. He doesn't really need that feature, but people still get muted again.
That'll do. At least we can see you on screen.
It's amazing how much being able to stop a filibuster annoys people that don't have a point.
So the question is, Nathan, do you want us to bring people up as they put their hand up as you finish one by one and control the moderation, or do you want to handle that side of it as well and control the stage and the moderation?
I have no idea how to use Discord beyond what I'm doing. I'm struggling to get it to appear on my screen while I've got chat up. So if you can do all that, I'll be here to talk. If that's good.
Yep.
And the panel.
All right. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Because with us, I got a split screen thing going, so I can see one side people who have requested to come on stage, and the other screen I've got the text box open.
Yeah, I can't see the text box, so I've only got one screen.
Just bring the ballers in one at a time.
They're not ballers, Neil, because every time they try and explain how curvature is measured, they're explaining how flat Earth is measured. All the terminology they're using. They're explaining flat Earth.
I forgot. That's right.
I tell you what, they got some interesting beliefs about flat Earth, like the idea that level can drop from level. That's a funny one.
Yeah. Just give you a reminder of the words that they shouldn't be using. I'm sticking at 30. 30 words not allowed to be used when explaining how Earth curve is measured. Sea level, horizon, horizontal, parallel, plumb, perpendicular, elevation, angles, triangles, sea sextant, theodolite, spirit level, altitude, vertical, tangent, straight line, up, down, plane, north, south, east, west, azimuth, altitude, and flat. 30 words, and that's that. You can't use these unless you're explaining flat.
So does someone remain in the other chat room and to find out who's going to get brought down with a question? What's the deal there? I don't know how it worked the very first time that I came. Like, I ended up in the same situation like now on stage, and then the guy who was running it was just like, this person's got a question, and they were brought up on stage by him. But presumably that means he's got to be in both rooms, right?
Yeah, there is a text channel alongside us, yeah. So we've got people monitoring that as well.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and anything they drop, we can pass along to Master B. No problems.
Oh, they will be dropping, mate, like flies.
Yeah.
I did put a comment down in the channel in the side chat for people to come up to here for the live stage, or for the stage. So hopefully that brings more people in.
Yeah, I posted 2 links, one to the text chat and one to the stage too. It looks like they're all joining. There's only a couple of people left in the Flat Earth room.
Oh, I see. So they're all in this room. When it says 25 in the audience, can I not show that? They can all hear.
You should be able to.
Okay.
Yes, they're your audience. They're all listening. So we've got Horse at the moment with their hand up, if you'd like to speak to them.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to start in a couple of minutes, but fine.
All right.
All right, I sent them an invite. Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Yo,
Hello.
is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, go and check it. Go and chase after it, Len.
You ruined the punchline. You ruined the punchline. Then go and chase after it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, well,
I'd say if it's running, I'd vote for it. Vote for president.
Yeah, vote Trump.
I mean, that's a good enough way to segue into the live show, I guess. A joke just before we start. Better than a question that needs like 10 minutes to debate over.
I'm not like a producer, I'm not an editor, but I'm not aware of any way to like edit a live video. And well, right now on YouTube, they have a 24/7 live video of the International Space Station. That's like almost always pointed at Earth and is showing that it is a sphere. And yeah, I just wanted your opinion on that.
All the video footage from Narnia, therefore Narnia is real.
No, but that's been shown and proven to be. Are you saying that Narnia is the reason that the Earth is flat right now?
No. So,
or what?
No,
hold on, John.
I'm pointing to your logic.
According to your logic, you're saying that if we have a live feed from Narnia, that makes Narnia real. If I've got footage that says live from Narnia, now by equivalence,
no, but
I haven't quite finished talking. I haven't quite finished talking. I haven't quite finished answering you. You didn't understand, and I'm expanding on it because you didn't understand the equivalence. So I'm expanding on it. No need to interrupt me.
Answering to the
There's no need to interrupt me. I haven't finished talking. I'm still in the same sentence. Don't need to acknowledge it. It's rhetorical. I just need to be able to continue with my sentence that you interrupted. Thank you.
Okay.
By equivalence, Narnia is equivalent to the second law of thermodynamics violation, empty area called a sky vacuum, where this footage would be coming from. An area of volume that the gas we are breathing at high pressure would fill in line with entropic law if it was real. Now, because we are breathing high pressure gas, there is definitely not a sky vacuum to broadcast live footage from. Ergo, it is instantaneously debunked as fake because it's like taking live footage from Narnia after going through the wardrobe. You can't traverse high-pressure gas and enter a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum and film images from there. It's not real. It violates natural law. Outer space, the sky vacuum, is fake. So all images and journeys through it are also fake. Immediately.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I just don't want to interrupt you. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so I've still not heard how you okay, so you used the second, yeah, okay. So the loss. I still don't know how you're debunking like that there, or like how are they editing it? Like that's what I'm wondering.
It's not
because
It's non-sequitur.
Narnia,
we've seen like the. I'm not finished.
Okay, you're asking us about.
Narnia.
Okay, I get you. You're saying you still haven't answered about how well the fur coats will protect them from the minus 27 degrees centigrade temperatures. I haven't finished responding to you. There you are saying no from the top of me before I finished. There you are still interrupting through the same sentence, like you did the second time you've done this.
The same to me.
Second time, you just need to shut your mouth while I respond to you. Thank you. No, it's like you asking when you say, well, how do they edit the live footage? Like saying, well, how do they manage to make the fur coats suffer the 27 below zero temperatures of Narnia? It's irrelevant. Narnia's not real. It's irrelevant what you claim is the edited footage from Narnia. I mean, Sky Vacuum. There is no Sky Vacuum to be taking footage from. So it doesn't matter how they lie. The how is irrelevant. They definitely are lying about the area they're claiming to get the footage from. Saying, well, how do they edit it? Who cares? They're not filming from a Sky Vacuum because we'd all be dead. The gas we breathe would fill the space in line with entropic law. So it's not, well, what about the editing? It's about what about capturing the footage in the first place from a place that isn't real.
Okay, yeah, but nobody is claiming that Narnia is a real place. Or, well, I'm sure some, like completely crazy
Our
person
analogy's
is.
lost on you.
He doesn't understand an analogy, clearly.
Yeah, but no, I'm just
But
trying
people are claiming that they can go to a place where gas is not filling, correct? But you can go to a place where gas isn't filling, can you?
Okay, but that's a whole completely different topic.
No, it's not. Your question about edited footage from an area that isn't real is not non sequitur. The area, the footage that you're asking about the editing is fake. There is no area where gas is not filling where they get the footage. Now, you didn't understand the analogy and started talking about whether or not people claim there's a real Narnia. Well, there might be. Yeah, that's the analogy. The focus is on the place that isn't real, that violates natural law, though, where the footage would have to come from first to then be edited. They didn't get the footage in the first place from that place because that place isn't real. Gas would fill that place. That's it.
Okay, do you know where they got the footage then? Like, can you point me to
Who cares?
Studio?
Sorry,
I care. I'm asking about it.
Let me answer you. Do I know where they got the footage? Do I know where they filmed the Narnia footage? Does it matter if it was filmed in the UK or New Zealand? There is no Narnia. Whether they filmed it in New Zealand or England is irrelevant because there is no Narnia. Doesn't matter where they filmed the fake footage that's definitely fake.
Yeah, okay, but science proves to you that it's not fake. We know where Narnia is recorded, so we know that it's not fake.
John, I've got to get control of you. John, hold on a second. I've got to take control of my own panel. John, please stop doing that.
What?
My panel member's interrupting you, and I'm stopping him.
Oh. Okay, thanks. Yeah, anyways, as I was saying, like, we know where Narnia was recorded, and we know it's fake because we've seen it being recorded. We've seen, like, backstage stuff of it. We have never seen backstage footage of space being faked, or, like, a green screen or whatever.
It's non sequitur.
And what?
It's non sequitur. I've just gone through this with you twice previously. I'm starting to tire of it already. It doesn't matter if I can demonstrate where it was filmed or how it was filmed. If their fraud was seamless, it wouldn't alter my argument against the area that they're claiming to film in. If the sky was a vacuum to take footage from, then the gas you breathe would fill that space in line with entropic law. Ergo, there is no place to film the footage.
Yeah, I know that you're claiming there is no space to film the footage, but 100 million scientists and a ton of research and evidence have been claiming you're wrong since the Greeks. So I don't really know why you keep trying to say that space is fake. when there's so much evidence against that.
Yeah, we got that.
I
Okay, we
honestly,
got you.
when I first got
Okay,
into
you
this,
spewed baseless assertion with no evidence to back it. There's so much evidence from so many scientists. Yeah, that's a non sequitur appeal to consensus fallacy that doesn't address the second law of thermodynamics violation, sky vacuum and entropic gas dispersion into it. How many people say it's real doesn't alter that gas fills space? Your appeal to consensus is non sequitur. That's two fallacies in one. We move on from this guy because he's just going to offer up. Yeah, we're on to the fourth time I've covered it with him. If he's too stupid to understand, doesn't even understand the bloody analogy, I don't want to go through it 15 times with him. We're on 4 so far. Do we need to go through it with this guy again? I'm going to start getting irritated with him, calling him stupid. We're already halfway there.
All right, Smart, do you have another topic you want to raise, or was that the only one?
Well, we also got a few other people there.
Yeah, get the other people up. I'm not really educated about like second law of thermodynamics. Let's get someone else who is.
We'll go and look it up.
Thanks for calling.
Gas, it's simple. Gas fills space. Like hot goes to cold. It's a law of nature. If you fart, it will fill the room. Because gas fills space. It's fairly simple. Now, if the sky was a space for your fart, it would dissipate into it instantly. It doesn't because we're under containment. So we're not going to be going to an area beyond the non-containment where gas doesn't disperse into areas, because that violates natural law. Gas fills space. Simple.
Albanian, next caller. What do you got?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to ask, what kind of proof would you like to prove that the Earth is round? Like, what would you accept?
What would I? I've already accepted it because it's measured that way.
That the Earth is round.
So what measurements do you have for a round Earth, please?
Yeah, sure. We have numerous mathematical equations. Do you want them?
Did you not hear what I asked for? Because it seems like you're asking me if I want equations.
Yeah,
excuse me, I'm talking and you seem to be interrupting immediately. I asked you for your measurements and you told me you'd got numerous calculations. So we'll try that once more because you didn't. There you are interrupting me again.
Measurements.
There you are interrupting me again. I haven't taken breath. I'm going to reiterate the question that you ignored and changed into a different question, and now interrupting my reiteration. Under much frustration with you still talking. I have not paused, sir. Shut your mouth and listen to the question that will, I assure you, annihilate your fundy religious faith in there being ball measurements, because there aren't any. But I'll ask you again for a second time, hopefully without interruption. Could you offer me some ball measurements, please, sir?
Yeah, I can. They're in the mathematical equation.
He's an idiot. Remove him from my presence. He's stupid.
What?
F it up, dick brain. You're stupid. If you don't understand the difference between calculations and measurements that the globe Earth definitely doesn't have, because the inference of a globe Earth is derived, that would be calculated, from the flat Earth elevation angle measurements. I'll say it once more. Measurements off a flat Earth. 2 stars. That's how the globe is created, with those measurements of a flat Earth. You don't have any globe measurements. You've got derivations and calculations based on the measurements of Earth itself, which is flat. That's what we actually have. That's why I am a flat earther, because that is how Earth is measured. It's also how the globe gets calculated. Your fundy sphere belief is based on the flat Earth measurements. That's why I asked for them. Your globe ones you don't have, that is. Next.
All right. So next we have, well, we've got Brenda, but I think that we're going to skip that one. We'll go to Nick.
For the audience's benefit, we're skipping Brenda because she suggested that I should have my children removed from me. That's why I no longer wish to talk to her. She's scum and doesn't deserve to be in my presence.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Nick.
So I get there is some animosity, but I'm going to try to stay positive, and I'm going to try to be as objective as I can. And I hope that I won't interrupt you and you won't interrupt me, and that we can have a conversation that hopefully sways one of us, right? No? Okay.
Well, yeah,
Well,
present what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
So
the 7 questions on the table. If you want to answer one of those, or do you got something else?
I have many. I would like to start off though with the one that we are just talking about. I think it was the person Nathan Oakley, 1980, that said something about the second law of thermodynamics, right?
Yeah, that's question 7. Gas pressure without a container.
Yeah, great. So maybe I'm uneducated, so help me out. But when I go and look up the laws of thermodynamics, all of them, right? I can't really find the definition that he mentions, right? It's an interpretation of entropy, and I appreciate that, but I can't really verbatim see the one that was listed. So my issue is this, right? The second law of thermodynamics does talk about pressure gradients, or rather entropy, right? But you could interpret that with pressure gradient, sure. But the problem is it very clearly lists an isolated system, right? And I think that was left out purposefully because Earth is not an isolated system, and you should be aware of that. And if you think that it is the case that it is an isolated system, I would like to hear why. So I guess that would be the first point. Because if you're going to use that as a segue point to say, well, it invalidates any space travel, then you should be able to defend the claim that it's an isolated instance, right? So yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
All right, I don't have any positive claims to make about the sky. My pointing out the laws of nature that dictate that gas fills space is my overcome to a positive claim that the sky is a vacuum. So beyond that claim that I assume you would make as a zealot believer in the globe, I don't have any claims in that regard, so I don't see any need to defend anything in that regard. What's that you say? Isolated something or other? Sorry, prove your sky's a vacuum. That's a positive claim you make, not me. Just to be clear.
Right. I don't know if you misunderstood my question. The first one was, could you read out the definition of the second law of thermodynamics you are invoking, right, as a counter, right? So that would be the first one, which you haven't done. And then the second one, was to defend the claim that it's an isolated system. Well, I'm going to say, sure, you're perhaps not bringing up the claim, but if you're bringing a counterclaim, then you have to defend that in much the same way that you have to defend an original claim, right?
No, it would mean that you would have to defend my counterclaim.
Wait, I don't know why you're interrupting.
Because you'd finished. You told me that I need to address your point. You've reiterated it, and now I'm going to suggest that no, given that I don't have a positive claim to make about the sky, if you're suggesting that, as per my rebuttal, gas does not fill space, then perhaps you could give me a demonstration that counters my rebuttal, as opposed to challenging me to prove something about isolated systems when I don't have a positive claim in that regard. The positive claim on the table is that the sky is a vacuum. My rebuttal is gas fills space. So if you say, no, gas does not fill space, show me gas not filling an area of volume, please.
And while I appreciate the strawman argument, that's not what happened. So what I did say, and I don't know why I got muted, right, is I'm okay with you not doing what I asked you to. But if your counter to space being real is the invoking the second law of thermodynamics and invoking the term natural law, right? You said natural laws. I'm presuming you're talking about natural law, right? Or laws of nature, you said. So you used the wrong again, but it's okay. I'm assuming that's what you're invoking. Even those, right, are just human-made. Now, they're thought to be something that exists outside of us, right? But that hasn't been proven, at least to my knowledge, right? So if you're saying, well, essentially I don't have to defend that claim, but you're at the same time invoking it as a scientific sort of backbone that has any weight, I'm just going to say your argument against space is just as good as a and that's not a conversation that I can really engage in. So yeah, that's too bad. I thought that you were better, so...
No, that's an ad hominem attack in lieu of an actual argument. Now, gas dispersion is a widely demonstrated fact. Would you like me to go and get you a university professor demonstrating gas filling an area of volume in line with entropic law in a university lecture about entropic law as per the second law of thermodynamics? Would you like me to demonstrate gas filling space? Because I can easily do that. My question in rebuttal to your... why would you be interrupting me, I wonder, triggered zealot who can't overcome a second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum claim that you have in the affirmative? It would seem that you'd be interrupting me at the point that I say, no, you haven't overcome anything I've said with your nonsense, waffle and word salad. That doesn't overcome the fact that gas fills space, and I can easily demonstrate that fact as per the description in the second law of thermodynamics of gas filling space, which is precisely what it does always. That's the description of it. It's called entropy. Now, if you say that, no, gas doesn't fill space, the space that I say the sky is, then you need to show me gas not filling space. Third time I've said it. I got a load of wad full of nonsense and word salad in response to the third repetition. Let's see how I go on this time. Show me gas not filling a vacuum, please. I can prove gas fills a vacuum. I can show it. University lecturers demonstrating it. So that's not going to be hand-waved by you, because it's easily demonstrable. Meanwhile, that disproves the sky is a vacuum, because as per the demonstrations that the university lecturers give, gas fills vacuums. So unless you can show otherwise, sky vacuum debunked, gas would fill it as per the university lecturers and demonstrations of exactly that. Gas fills vacuums. The sky isn't one. The gas we're breathing would fill it. You haven't overcome that.
Yeah, I actually don't even have to overcome that because it's a different topic. I mentioned this at the beginning, so I'm real perplexed of how you missed it, but I'm going to try to talk slow, and I hope you get it this time, right? So this is when you talk about a closed system, and I try to get out of you if you understand what the difference between a closed system and an open system in relation to entropy, right? But it's apparent you don't. So no, I don't need to see a closed system demonstration of how entropy behaves with gas pressure gradient. No, I don't need that because that's not the topic. What I am needing actually is burden of how would evidence suffice in a flat Earth narrative, right? So if you say, well, any claim made can be debunked by, say, second law of thermodynamics, right? Then you have to defend the second law of thermodynamics in an open system. And when it's proven to be violated, you should engage with that, right? If you're going to say, well, the only thing
Sorry,
that
can
I
you just stop him from telling me what I'm going to say, please? Can you stop him from telling me what I'm going to say before I've said it? Could you stop him? No, I don't need telling what I'm going to say. If you're going to say something that completely ignores what I've previously already addressed, I'll speak slower. In a flat Earth context, end quote, I don't have a claim. Perhaps you're stupid or deaf, as this is the second time I have addressed this also. No sky claim from me, dum-dum. You claim vacuum, gas fills vacuums. We'd be dead if the sky was one. What's my proof in rebuttal? The law of nature demonstrated by university professors in lectures about the second law of thermodynamics, where they demonstrate unequivocally this description of gas behaviour, where it fills a vacuum. Gas fills vacuums. Space debunked. Your word salad and ignorance of my lack of claim doesn't overcome the second law. Furthermore, your attempted obfuscation and non sequitur about closed and isolated systems has no bearing on the fact that gas fills vacuums. It's not a rebuttal, it's word salad. Fourth time, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do it a fifth, unless he's got anything else. The sky is not a vacuum. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space in line with entropic law as demonstrated. No overcome has been offered because there isn't one. He's not going to alter that gas fills vacuums. It's a law of nature. So the sky's not one. A vacuum. Like they claim they get these images from space from. They don't. It's all fake. It violates the second law of thermodynamics because gas fills vacuums. Simple. Done.
Great. So again, I will say this, right? It's apparent that we're not going to progress in this part.
Okay, we're gonna go next caller.
Okay. Yep. I think we should go to Reggie. She's been waiting a while there and coming in and out. We've already spoken to Smart.
All right, Reggie. Welcome to the channel or the call.
Reggie.
Hi. I don't really have a question about like the facts. What I'm curious
I can't
about
hear her.
is
She's too quiet.
what you think
I can't
what you
hear you.
think the point is of all this.
Can you get closer to your mic? I can't really hear you.
What do you think the point of this is? Like, why does every government feel the need to like conspire to keep this big secret or lie going on? Like, what's the point?
I don't know. It's an appeal to motivation fallacy.
I'm just curious what your perspective is on it.
Did you hear what my response was?
Yeah, I'm just curious what your
Could you
idea
repeat?
about it
Could you
was.
repeat my response? What was my response?
You're a real asshole. Like, you're so mean.
I'm just asking you to repeat my response. Could you do that or not?
No, I heard what you said.
What did I say?
I'm just curious about your thoughts on it. Is that okay? Am I
What
not
was
allowed
my
to ask
I've
that?
given you my thoughts on what you asked me, and I'd like you to repeat them so I can acknowledge that you actually heard me and understood what I said in response, because you don't seem to be acknowledging what I actually said. I'll repeat it now. Are you listening?
No, she left.
She's
She left on her own.
left, yeah.
No worries. I'll just summarise. It was an appeal to motivation fallacy. She was unprepared to address her fallacious reasoning and instead reiterated her question that was the same appeal to motivation fallacy. Okie dokie. Thank you for that, Reggie.
All right, we got geeks.
All right.
Hey man, you sound pretty upset. Like, why are you so pissed off?
Oh, geeks, come on, man.
You could
We
do
just had a
better.
discussion about this. I
You
don't
could
want to
do
throw
better
you
than
back
that,
in the
geeks.
audience, dude.
Pull
I'm
a
just
mulligan. Hey,
checking to see why this guy, what's his?
Yeah, geeks, pull a mulligan. Start it over, okay? You got your little jab.
That's all right.
Now
Can I just counter that? Earth is measured flat and outer space is fake. The entire world is under the misapprehension that they're standing on a spinning water ball flying through a sky vacuum that has been derived from measurements of a flat plane with respect to a parallel plane of the lights in the sky we use to navigate the flat Earth that we measured. So, just so there's some counterbalance to the ad hom fallacies that I seem to get consistently, I'll just point out that Earth's measured flat. And anybody with a globe belief who is here has their globe faith based on those flat Earth measurements. Just want to be the antidote to the ad homs and stupidity that I seem to suffer.
Sure. Listen, Ned Oakley, you seem really pissed off. Okay, you seem upset.
Can you get rid of this guy, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Flat Earth Ranger.
I just have two things to say. Basically, these people's feelings are connected to the ball and they aren't listening. They aren't absorbing what you are saying. That's number one. Number two, is there going to be a live text chat for the audience?
Yes, there is. It's just above the room. Flat Earth questions.
I love
it. I'll tag you so you can find it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny though, isn't it, guys? It's funny that they're coming in. We're after their, supposedly globe proof, and we've had nothing whatsoever to do with that. With the 3 or 4 people who've been in, it's to do with gas pressure, appeal to authority, and just ad hominem attacks. Where's the curvature measurements? Come on, Globers.
Look into my eyes,
give
not around
Smart
the
another
eyes, look
go.
into the eyes. I've got calculations.
I think Smart dipped out earlier because he didn't understand entropy, but he's back in. He seemed to be not too bad last time, so we'll give him another crack. He might have a different question this time.
Hey, Crit, can you tag me real quick to that? I don't see it either.
Yeah,
Hello.
no problem.
All right, yeah, I'm back. I did just go and look up a bit about what you just said. Nobody asked about the gas filling a vacuum stuff, and well, what I'm seeing here,
gas filling space.
What?
Gas will fill.
Gas fills space.
Yeah. What I'm seeing here is that on Earth and on other celestial beings, it doesn't because of gravity. So I was just wondering what you wanted to say about that.
Where are you seeing that?
When I look it up.
Oh, I'm slightly confused. Sorry, where do you observe with your eyes gas not filling vacuums because of gravity? But I mean, where do you observe this with your eyes?
On Earth.
No,
When
on
I
Earth
look up at the sky.
No. That's a begging the question fallacy. You're saying, I suggest the sky is a vacuum. What's your evidence? Look at the sky. I say it's a vacuum. No. If it was a vacuum, the gas we're breathing would fill that area of volume. If you suggest that because you've Googled it, they say, no, the sky really is a vacuum and gas just doesn't fill it. Yeah, that's surprising that the heliocentric rhetoric that's 500-year-old Copernican Roman Catholic Church nonsense about being on a ball after measuring Earth flat to create that model. I say model. I'm going to have to adapt my language. that mathematical extrapolation from flat Earth measurements of a ball in a sky vacuum, it would violate the natural law that is gas filling space. I appreciate that there's lots of lies you were raised in them, but that doesn't alter what we observe to be true, and there's laws of nature that describe things that occur always, like gas filling vacuums. That's a law of nature. It's what occurs always, in spite of what your religious texts tell you online. We don't observe that. Unless you can show me gas not filling a vacuum, I'm going to go with the law of nature that gas always does that, therefore the sky is not a vacuum, in spite of you going, look, I believe that that's an area with men floating around in it, and it's a vacuum and gas just isn't filling it. No, that's a violation of natural law, you pointing at the sky and just telling me it's a vacuum. It's still a violation of that same natural law.
Okay. Okay, but so you're asking me to prove that gas doesn't fill a vacuum, right?
Yeah, you won't do it. It's a violation of a law of nature. Yes, I'm confirming that I'm asking you to violate a law of nature to prove that the sky is a vacuum. Yes, to prove the sky is a vacuum, you'll have to prove that you can violate a law of nature. That's correct. Can you violate that law of nature and show me gas not dispersing into areas of volume in line with the entropic law of nature known as the second law? Can you show me that to save your sky vacuum belief?
Well, I can't really show you that on Earth.
It's because it doesn't happen. It's because it doesn't happen, and your appeal to, I could show you if I went out to the area that they lie to me about. You're not going to do that, though. It just violates natural law, and you just believe that there's an area you could go to, but you're not. It's just the magical men in the sky vacuum with their suits that stop the gas there breathing from filling the vacuum in their spacesuits, but they look back on an Earth without a spacesuit on it. And that gas isn't filling the area that they need to protect themselves from. Yeah, that's garbage and a violation of the natural law known as the second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah, okay. Right now I'm just getting, I'm just thinking of the prove a ball, water on a ball spinning arguments. That's what I'm getting from this right now, because because the problem is you want me to prove that gravity, which I'm claiming is that it's gravity that is holding the gas down on Earth. You want me to prove that doesn't happen?
No, I didn't. I didn't ask you for that. No, I did not ask you for that. You've come along and suggested that when you assume gas doesn't fill space, the reason is because of gravity. Well, first show me that gas doesn't fill space, and then we'll figure out what's causing that gas to not fill space. No, gas will always fill space. Gas doesn't go down, go boom, boom, go splash, splash with gravity. Gas expands at a high rate of speed in whatever direction it's travelling. Gravity, in 109-year out-of-date rhetoric, is a downward bias with respect to the centre of Earth. That's a force. In current vernacular, as per Einstein 109 years ago, it's a bent pseudo-Riemannian space-time and is not a force. So regardless of which gravity you choose to pick, gas does not go down, and pseudo-space-time bending doesn't have a force to do anything to gas. Meanwhile, gas fills space. Always. It's a law of nature. So you saying it doesn't because of my appeal to bent space-time or because of my appeal to out-of-date, incorrect Newtonian forces of down, when gas is not going down, it comes out of the ground and goes up. So gravity debunked in all respects. Even though I didn't need to, it's non sequitur the fact that there's a law of nature being violated if the sky's a vacuum. So I've addressed your non sequitur even though I didn't need to of gravity. Hope that's enough for you.
No, wait, hold on. I got one more thing. You keep saying that gas doesn't go down, which is just not true, because you can observe when liquid nitrogen is exposed to air, it goes down. That's because heat rises and cold it doesn't. And space is really, really cold.
Okay, sorry.
So...
Can you show me the liquid nitrogen factories in the sky, please? Excuse me, I'm still asking a question to debunk your stupid claim, but it seems I'm being yammered through before I've even attempted to debunk the stupid crap that just... No, he's never going to shut up. Stupid man, are there liquid nitrogen factories in the sky pouring gas down upon us? Where would this gas be produced, pray tell?
I'm not claiming that there's liquid nitrogen. The liquid nitrogen...
Did you not hear my question? I didn't ask you what you weren't claiming. I said, given that your claim is that liquid nitrogen go down, go boom, boom, you're going to show me where it's produced in the sky and coming down. Like rain. Can you do that?
I'm not sure there's been an experiment of that. I can.
Is it a no? Or is it a question about whether or not we're applying scientific validity to phenomena that I'm not describing? Does gas go down, go boom, boom? Is there liquid nitrogen factories in the sky? I just need a no, because there aren't. Then I'll make my conclusion when you, who keeps yammering through me, the one annihilating his stupid garbage, feels that he needs to talk while he's shown how stupid he is. There aren't any liquid nitrogen factories in the sky pouring gas down. All gases are produced at ground level. And all gases, in order for them to be amongst all other gases, must come from the ground and go up, without exception. There are no gases going down, go boom, boom from sky factories, in spite of your attempts to manufacture a circumstance where you introduce a high concentration of gas into already existing gas pressure. That means that we've already got existent gas pressure. Well, where did we get the existent gas pressure from in the first place? If the sky's a vacuum, you can make this demonstration. We need to be at pressure first. And if the sky's a vacuum, in spite of this la-la land non sequitur red herring that we're going along for some reason, we've got to, overcome to the fact that if we had a sky vacuum, we'd have absolutely no gas whatsoever, because the very first gas particle that came out of the ground would bugger off into the sky vacuum. For my audience, let's pretend this is the bullshit world of sphere Earth in a sky vacuum 3 bazillion years ago, and there's no gas. The very first particle comes out of the ground and buggers off into a 10 to the minus 17 torr sky vacuum to be never seen again. We'd never develop pressure. Yeah, this clown shoes is asking me about, in the existent pressure that doesn't overcome the fact I've got a belief in a sky vacuum, what happens if I introduce artificially some liquid nitrogen into already existent gas pressure? Who cares? Naturally, all gases are produced at the ground, so there are no exceptions. If the sky was a vacuum, we'd still all be dead. La la land over. Non sequitur defeated.
Okay, so you're putting words in my mouth because I never once claimed that there's actually liquid nitrogen going up in the atmosphere. I use that as a point that gas doesn't always go up. Liquid nitrogen can go up, even though it's really, really cold, and it goes down. If it's disturbed by a different force, it can go up. And it might.
Sorry, he's ignoring my actual rebuttal. He's ignoring my rebuttal and focusing on the non sequitur. So he's ignoring my rebuttal. Sorry, can you stop him? Can you stop him? He's completely ignored my actual rebuttal and he's now focusing on the non sequitur I took apart. Your non sequitur's not going to get debated about. Gas-filled space. The sky is not a vacuum. I don't want this la-la-la non sequitur to be reiterated when I've just taken a giant steaming dump on it. Gas-filled space. You're arguing about introduction of liquid nitrogen into already existing gas pressure is not an overcome to your claim the sky is a vacuum, because we'd all be dead. We couldn't make this non sequitur example. Ergo, I don't want you to discuss the non sequitur for a third time. Gas fills space. Outer space has been debunked. It's a violation of natural law. Let's not have a third rendition of your non sequitur discussion about introduction of liquid nitrogen. It's been dealt with. You have anything else?
Yeah, no, I don't. This is not a fun debate. You're just
Well, it was lovely talking to you. Your space sky vacuum's fake. It's a violation of natural law in spite of your invocation of a gas go down, go boom, boom gravity. That didn't work. It was completely non sequitur. You needed your example to take place in existing gas pressure that we wouldn't have if the sky was a vacuum. So outer space is fake. Thank you for trying, though. Yeah, you got a fundy faith in something that violates natural law. On you go.
Does he have a citation that gravity overcomes the second law of thermodynamics?
No, he definitely won't.
Right out the gate. He said he's seen it. Where'd you see it at?
He just lied.
He's gone now.
Target.
Yeah. He's been booted off the stage, Huey, but he's seen it. He's seen it
Just one sec,
occurring with the Earth.
Just one sec.
Just 1 second, AJ. From Tech Target, a gas has no fixed shape or volume. The atoms or molecules that make up the gas fill the container that holds them. The gas expands until it is uniformly distributed throughout the container, even in the presence of gravity. If not confined to a container, a gas will disperse into space. End of citation.
But even with the La La Land of bent pseudo-force space-time that affects nothing with no force, it's still going to fill space. Space is still fake. There is no outer space sky vacuum. There's no images from space. There's no moon travel. There's no Mars travel. Everything that is claimed to come from an area of volume gas is not filling, that's outer space, a sky vacuum, is fake. And all men who claim to have been to it are liars.
And Mr. Isolated System, your little wiki bagak that doesn't know what the second law of thermodynamics is, from Professor Caustic. The second law of thermodynamics is universal and valid without exception in closed and open systems, in equilibrium and non-equilibrium, in inanimate and animate systems, that is, in all space and time scales. Useful energy, non-equilibrium work potential is dissipated in heat and entropy is generated. End of citation. Got another question for Mr. Isolated System. The second law of thermodynamics is a natural law. There are no isolated systems in nature. So are you saying the second law of thermodynamics, a natural law, only applies to systems that are not found in nature? Nick, the dick. Is that what you're saying, you clowns?
Got time for a couple more questions if there's anybody else out there. Maybe 10, 15 minutes more.
Regis is the next caller.
Yeah, hi. So the second law of thermodynamics is about entropy going from the systems going from lower to higher entropy, energy equalizing and dissipating.
Not all.
Gravity, as observed, counteracts this to some extent. It doesn't literally decrease entropy, but it does.
It's not entropy.
Because of the existence of gravitational potential energy, it's lost when objects are caught at gravity wells.
You missed define entropy with citation, please.
Define entropy?
With citation.
He transfers in systems from areas of higher heat to lower.
He's not asking you to describe it, he's asking you to cite it.
Cite it? Like where I got that definition from?
Yeah, with quotes around it so we can read it verbatim.
You only gave half the definition, by the way. There's classical thermodynamics, which you just stated, and then molecular thermodynamics. You don't know what entropy is. You're a wiki parroting pretender clown.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
You Googled that nonsense. You just wiki Googled that nonsense. It's the first one that came up, right?
Okay.
I know what you did.
I know this is.
I've only joined just to give one citation.
All right, there's the definition. Would you please provide your definition after reading mine?
It's not
my definition is what entropy is.
Everyone stop for a second. Well, we're going to... Adam wants to add one thing, but just before he does... Everyone just chill.
The flat Earth
Everyone just chill. Stop talking. That means chill. Stop. Right. Adam's got something to add. Furthermore, this is fun and all, going through the description of entropic law, but gas fills space. You know, how we bandy the description we have ascribed in our language is irrelevant. Gas will always fill space. That description describes things that occur always. The description's irrelevant. What occurs always? Gas filling space, debunking the sky vacuum. So fun though this is and all, I'm not interested in debunking or arguing about second law of thermodynamics misapprehensions. Gas fills space. Who cares beyond that? Outer space is fake. Adam, go ahead.
Well, the second law of thermodynamics doesn't describe the process of gas filling space. It describes the process of higher entropy to lower entropy in systems.
Really? So if I get a university professor to describe how it is precisely that with a demonstration of gas filling a vacuum as his example when he describes the second law, would you eat your words and say how wrong you were?
No. I mean,
well, then I don't need to talk to you anymore. If you wouldn't concede when a university professor gives a lecture on the fact that you're wrong, and you wouldn't accept that, then I don't need to talk to you anymore, do I? Adam, go ahead.
Okay, so just in addition, we're giving citation. So this is Professor of Chemistry, Edward E. Mason. One of my favourites of the week. The remarkable feature of gases is that they appear to have no structure at all. They have neither a definitive size nor shape. And if you knew about gas behaviour, you'd know why he sarcastically uses the word remarkable there. We're in this stage. There's a reason professors use words like that. They're being sarcastic because people come to the table with nonsense where they ignore what they learned when they were 12 years old, which are the basics of gas behaviour. It will fill a space, given that the space is available. Simple as.
So if there was a massive available space above our head that men fly to the lights in, we'd all be dead because the gas would be filling it. It isn't, therefore there is no sky vacuum. Let's not discuss
Gravity
the second law that describes
gravity
that fact.
resisted.
Why is it my conclusion? You already conceded that even if I showed you a demonstration from a university professor giving a lecture, you wouldn't accept it. Now you think you can yammer through me? Get lost. You wouldn't accept it. You still think that it's your excuse to yammer. Your time is done, but you think that what? You're going to obfuscate the fact of the law of nature that describes gas filling your fake sky vacuum with men in it? All that matters is that gas fills sky vacuum. So there isn't one. That's the only pertinent point. You want to barney on about how we don't understand the second law description of gas filling space. Gas fill space. There's no sky vacuum. Your endless non sequiturs and concession that you wouldn't even accept me giving you a university lecture talking about and physically showing that happening. You said you wouldn't accept it even then. So you're useless. You're a zealot. In the face of obvious demonstrations in physical reality, you deny them. Why? Because it undermines your faith in a sky vacuum with little men in suits that have to abide by this law, otherwise they wouldn't be breathing. Oh, well, they need a spacesuit, otherwise all the gas that they're breathing would fill the sky vacuum. But they can look back on Earth without any containment. You're all delusional. You think we want to argue about the second law with you? No. Your space sky vacuum's fake, and you've got lots of liars that lie to you about it, and you've all fallen victim to it, and think that the best way to go about undermining our debunking of your religion is to discuss the law of nature that describes that fact. No. Sky vacuum's fake. There are no men in the space that you thought you had when you were growing up. There's no trips to the moon. There's no trips to Mars. Elon Musk's lying to you. Neil Armstrong lied to you.
Well, we already went over fairy tale gravity and its reaction with the second law of thermodynamics. Oh, we already did that.
Time for one more question.
Yeah, he didn't listen.
5 more minutes.
Well, how can you disprove gravity? Actually,
don't have to.
I thought we already did that. Can we go down the gravity road now?
You provided no counter argument to gravity. You just said it doesn't.
Okay, no worries. Stop. Hold on.
Citation in direct response to your nonsense, but we can go down gravity road. Which gravity are you talking about?
Why? We don't need to go through gravity. It doesn't change that gas fills space and the sky vacuum's debunked. Do you think this non sequitur onto an... Excuse me, I'm responding to you, and there's him yammering through me. What a shock. Do you think this immediate hand wave of what I've just covered literally 3 minutes ago? No, this is non sequitur. Talking about gravity's got nothing to do with the outer space sky vacuum being debunked. Gas would fill it. What's that? You want to talk about gravity instead of a concession of how fake your sky vacuum is? Oh, no, I won't allow that. No, gravity's completely non sequitur. QE just covered that a couple of minutes ago also. Even in the presence of gravity, maybe you weren't listening. Making you deaf or stupid, who cares? Yeah, your space vacuum, your place where men go, that's still fake, regardless of your desire to talk about something else that's not real, that's gravity. Who cares? Space is fake. Outer space is not a vacuum. Do they want to hear it again? Anything else? We've got a couple more minutes. Hold on, QE. Anybody else got a new question?
Well,
yeah, we have
huge Jazz in the with his hand up here as well. So if we want
this peanut gallery has been quite entertaining.
Well, you're the poster child of it.
Huge Jazz.
Hello. Right. So I had a question for Nathan. I had two questions actually. So I just want to understand you guys' beliefs a bit more. So this downward acceleration that we feel, towards the ground, why do you guys think that happens?
Right, why do we didn't claim that does happen. It doesn't. Yes.
You guys don't
There's
think
me
that there's a
after
downward
three
acceleration?
friggin' words cross my lips, and he's immediately talking. What a shock. As he's just immediately interrupted me after 3 words, I'm going to berate this idiot. Shut your mouth, idiot, while I answer you, you dumbass. That means don't respond. That was rhetorical also. No, gas doesn't go down. Maybe you haven't been listening for the last 45 minutes. Gas isn't going down. Are you going to show me nitrous oxide friggin' factories in the sky? No, you are not. Gas is produced at ground level. It expands out and up away from the ground when it's produced naturally. Now, if you're going to give me any examples of non-natural circumstances where you introduce gases into already existing gas pressure, I won't give a toss. Gas doesn't go down. You ever experienced a puddle of your own fart? No, you have not. When you fart, it dissipates throughout your home, letting everybody around you know how stinky and dirty you are. Okay, dirty man, with your dirty farts that don't form puddles. Gas fills space. You think things go down? Oh, really? Have you never seen a cloud?
Can I go now? Okay, so if you
Did you hear my question? Are you deaf or stupid? Have you seen a cloud?
No.
So you're blind and sheltered. So you're a man who's stuck in a basement playing video games. You've never seen a cloud, dum-dum.
I thought you said, have you seen a cloud?
Have you seen a cloud 3rd times a charm?
Yes.
So all things go down, do they, dum-dum?
No.
No. That would be your stupid, zealot religious belief that you're now yammering through the annihilation of. That means shut your mouth. That means shut your mouth while you get berated for your stupidity, dum-dum. Doesn't mean keep talking as I show how stupid you are. That you've failed to see the clouds above your stupid head. Yeah, that makes you a buffoon who can't keep his mouth shut. A buffoon who talks idiocy and asks me about all things going down. What a clown. What a globe-believing numpty! Can't even notice the clouds and feels he needs to chant through the annihilation of his own stupidity. Belligerence in the face of stupidity. Pure belligerence in the face of his own dumbass stupidity. No, dum-dum. We've got clouds. You asking me why all things go down? That makes you stupid. My name's Nathan Oakley, and I'm calling you stupid. And all you can do is you're demonstrably shown to be stupid is yammer through the facts being laid out for you that you can't even notice the clouds above your own stupid head. You think that means it's your turn to talk through me? No, dumb globe-believing numpty idiot. You're just not very observant when you ask me why all things go down, now are you? That makes you retarded. Why would you be asking such a stupid question? Oh, I know why, ladies and gentlemen. He's a globe believer. So he's got his Dunning-Kruger deflector shields up while I'm asking him if he's seen clouds 3 times. And then he sniggers when he goes, well, yeah. Yeah, I see those things in the sky, debunking my stupid claim I asked you about. Okay, dum-dum. Enjoy the beration by me, Nathan Oakley, a flat earther demonstrably proving your stupidity. Thank you for trying. Better luck next time. Got time for one more? No, I think we haven't. We're out of time. First of all, though, I'm going to say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to today's Politics Discord server moderation and, of course, all the public participants who joined in that politics server. Hopefully there'll be a link from my own moderation team in the YouTube live chat so you can join that server, which is epic when it's run to this type of efficiency it has been today. So, again, a huge thank you to the Politics Discord mods. I'm so made up, as you can probably tell by the big smile on my face. Of course, a massive thank you to all of you in my Nathan Oakley 1980 live stream. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow.
Yeah. Will you be joining us in the other room, Nathan?
Yeah. Well, can you move me in? Do you know how to do that? Do I just have to click on the other room and then I'll move in? Let's see. Yes, if I can get in there and figure it out, I'll get in there. That was great, though. Oh, I'm so made up with how that show went. That was brilliant. Thank you so much if you can still hear me, AJ. Where the hell is Flat Earth 24/7?
Yeah, no problems.
So here we go. Flat Earth 24/7 Flat Earth. There we go.
Feel about when he says like, okay, then show us air doing what you think it's going to do, being held and contained without a container, like next to a vacuum. Like, how do you feel about that then?
Yeah,
you think that's possible?
Yes, because it's not right next to a vacuum. It's sort of a slow pressure gradient. I mean, you can even use a very sensitive barometer at the top of the room you're in and the bottom of the room you're in. You can see there's a difference in pressure. So we manifestly know that gas does not fill all of the space of a container equally.
Matthew, can you show us the vacuum without the chamber, please?
It doesn't fill it equally, but it does fill it, right?
It fills
Yeah,
it,
and
but not
gas
equally.
dissipates
Right.
space too.
Right, so gas
There's a
fills,
slight
fills
downward
volumes.
bias due to the weight
Right.
of the air.
I see. So it's kind of like a delta X argument where it just doesn't fill it equally, but it definitely fills the volume, regardless of whether or not it's equal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So gas would fill the volume of space then, we'd all be dead. Oh, it wouldn't fill it equally. Yeah, but we'd still all be dead.
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of the claim of a sky vacuum that are very far away, and obviously they're not going to have the suffocating dissipation of gas equal over in the million-mile away bit in the fantasy world of sky vacuums and balls in space, so it's not going to be equal, like Matthew's saying. But we'd still all be dead because gas would dissipate into that volume, just not equally. We'd still be dead. Gas would still fill the sky vacuum.
Within 100 miles. Hello?
So at 100 miles away, gas doesn't fill space.
It does. I mean, space isn't completely empty. There are still like a few particles that are roaming around.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be any. There wouldn't be any on the ground level though. We'd all be dead. You know, we'd all be suffocating, like in that scene in like, what is it? Total Recall. You know, when they're on the surface of Mars choking because the gas isn't there to breathe. Well, if the sky was a vacuum, like in pictures of Earth next to black areas, that would be the black area, and there's high pressure gas next to it in those photos. Obviously, fake photos. You can't have high pressure right next to a vacuum. That's ludicrous. We'd all be dead if that was a real picture of Earth from a place that doesn't exist, because the gas would be filling it rather than you being able to look back on high pressure gas that's not filling space, like in your spacesuit. So you're in your spacesuit pretending you're in an area that doesn't exist, but you need the spacesuit so gas doesn't escape from your suit into the area of volume. But Earth don't need that spacesuit. You could take pictures of that gas not filling space, violating natural. Nah, it's all bollocks. Yeah, your sky vacuum's
Okay,
fake.
can I just ask you? What do you actually believe? Because I don't believe that I have heard you say what it is you believe.
I don't know
You've
of
only
any
tried to
beliefs.
argue about
Try and avoid them at
what
all
we
costs,
believe.
really. When it comes to Earth being flat, I rely on the measurements of Earth that the globe belief's based on also. So where the fundamentalist zealotry of globe belief comes in, when we get down to the nitty-gritty of how Earth's actually measured, it's flat for those globe extrapolations and calculations. So we're all on the same standard if we look back far enough to how Earth's actually measured. But that doesn't require any belief, does it? I mean, it doesn't require for me to believe it's measured flat, and it certainly doesn't require it for you. You just have to measure it flat to create the globe that you do believe in. So that's not a belief. We both understand, if we've got a good enough understanding of how Earth's measured, that regardless of your belief in a globe, we both measure Earth flat, you and I. That's how it's measured.
Can you cite that?
Like what?
Well, like where you got that it's measured flat?
Oh, well, like on your globe belief, you've got latitude lines, right, wrapped around your globe?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are measurements of elevation angles to the star called Polaris. Flat plane measurement of an angle to a star in the sky. They're wrapped around your globe. So when it comes to questions like this, the person with a globe faith has to ask themselves one question. Do I deny the latitude measurements off a flat Earth? In which case you haven't got a globe to believe in anymore because those lines are definitely wrapped around your globe, so you deny your globe. Or do you accept that we measure latitude off a flat plane, in which case, like I've just told you as a fact, we measure Earth flat? Fundamentally, for some of the aspects of your globe, in this case latitude lines, we're going to measure them off a flat plane. And if you deny them, you deny your globe. If you accept them, you accept the facts that we measure it flat, because we do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Nathan, to rephrase my earlier question, why do some things fall to the ground?
Sorry? What? Why do some people get pregnant? Who cares? Who cares? Some things don't.
Well,
Which means what? Why am I being asked? Do I make a claim about things falling?
No, I'm just curious as to what you believe.
No, you've got a fundamentalist zealot belief in gravity. That's why you're asking me about your lack of understanding of your own faith. I haven't got a claim about this. Why are you asking me? Go and study gravity and then figure out how stupid it is.
I'm not asking you to claim anything, bro. I'm asking you for what your best guess is. That's what
I don't give best guess. I'll give you a measurement if there is one. There's no gravity to measure. So I can't give you a measurement for it. It doesn't exist.
Okay, but can you explain why something's falling down?
But the downward vector, the downward vector you're keep appealing to, how do you get a downward vector? Could you explain downward vector?
Yeah, how do you get a downward vector?
Perpendicular to horizontal. If you're going to measure it, it's going to be measured with respect to a flat plane of reference. We're talking about vertical and horizontal, aren't we? Perpendicular to it is a downward vector. I mean, it's a flat plane that we'll always be referencing. Earth is always measured as a flat plane. That's what it is. That's where we get some of these concepts from.
On a globe tard, you only have in and out. You don't have up and down.
Yeah, I don't think you really answered the question there.
We do, because you're asking about downward. You're asking about things going down, and we're saying, okay, what, perpendicular to horizontal, downward vector? Yeah, okay, fine. You're asking about that when not all things go down, so it's irrelevant. We've dealt with the non sequitur. But further to that, we're saying that on a globe, you don't have down. If you're going to describe gravity, bullshit or otherwise, with respect to down, it's with respect to a flat plane. You don't have down on a globe. This is second. I'm just repeating what the panel's just said, and now I'm getting talked through. Now I'm getting talked through. Dumbasses that don't listen and can't understand, need things repeating to them, think they can talk through the end of the conclusion they ignored the first time. No, dum-dum. Downs with respect to a flat Earth. You don't have that on a globe. That's the third time, you dumbass.
On a globe, when we say down,
no, you don't, dumbass. No, in. You don't have down, dumbass. You're just not listening. You think chanting that you do have it when you don't. No, down is perpendicular to a plane. In is what you have on your stupid dumbass globe. It's the fourth time I've told you, chanting through the fourth repetition won't alter your stupid lack of faith and understanding about what a globe gives you when you talk about gravity. You don't understand your own stupid, shitty globe faith. You're telling me through the fourth rendition that you do have down on a globe. No, you do not, dumbass.
Yes, we do. Even though you chant it over and over, Nathan keeps chanting.
Oh, Matthew White Knight. Where'd you get down from on a globe then, Matthew?
Sorry.
Where'd you get down from on a globe, Matthew? White Knight Matthew.
Hold on, Nathan. Sorry. I've muted Matthew just for interjecting. So whoever was having the discussion, can you please continue?
Fair enough. He's got a higher celebrity status.
Why do some things fall down? And we can use the flat version of down, whatever. I'm just curious as to what you guys think, that's all. And if you don't want to make a guess, that's fine.
I've dealt with this 3 times. Do I make a claim about it?
Okay, let's not talk about it.
Just wanted to see what
okay, I got one question though. Do you have like an actual model of the flat Earth that you can like make predictions and calculations about? And is there like a scale or something?
I don't need one. Don't need one. All the maps are flat. They all reference horizontal. I'm answering you. Don't need one because all references to Earth with respect to navigation will be flat. All of the measurements that created those maps are also flat. The navigation processes that are used with the flat maps require Earth to be measured flat. So am I a cartographer? No, but there's all sorts of different maps and charts they're all flat and require Earth to be measured flat for them to be functionally useful. I hope that answers your question.
Look, here's a better way to rephrase the question, right? If you were stranded on an island, which map would you prefer to get you out and to the next main landmass?
Oh, I quite like an ordnance survey myself. Ordnance survey?
Celestial sphere map. Well, diagram.
Celestial sphere map? Did you send that one?
Well, hold on. Yeah. With the Mercator projection, I think you could use that. They were both flat Earth as well. Do you have a globe model? Please present that.
Do I have a globe model? Yeah.
A globe model.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Can you post that for us? We've never seen one.
Yeah. Wait, no one's ever presented a globe model?
Never, because there isn't one, but we'll see what you think you've got.
There isn't a globe model?
Well,
What do you mean?
said you've got one. Whoever, stop. Someone's just said they have. So rather than us arguing about it, let's just see what you thought you had.
Hold on. I mean, there's here's one. Let me go to flat Earth questions. Or is there a different flat Earth channel for this one? Or 24/7 flat Earth?
Just in the side chat, dude.
All right. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I mean, here's one model that explains like the axis and
Sorry,
how the
axis?
Earth spins. That's one.
It explains what? Sorry, the axis?
Yes.
An axis is described with respect to a plane of reference. An axis would be perpendicular to a plane.
Yeah, it's perpendicular.
So you'll need a flat Earth for an axis.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Welcome
No, you
to
need a flat plane.
Excuse me, we're just concluding by telling you that to describe an axis, you'd have to be perpendicular to a plane of reference. You said yes, and then we said welcome to Flat Earth. This concept requires a flat plane of reference.
Yeah, the plane of reference is what? What?
It's prerequisite to an axis. As soon as you invoke axis, you immediately invoke a flat horizontal plane of reference. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to the sun.
Yeah, to the
Regardless.
sun. That's an excellent rebuttal.
Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth. Once you've wrapped your head around it, maybe respond to it. The sun's got nothing to do with, and I'm still talking. Yeah, you didn't understand. That's obvious. That's why we were laughing. I say we, QE, was laughing at you. Yeah, your axis requires a horizontal plane of reference. It's intrinsic to it. So welcome to Flat Earth. The sun's got sod all to do with it. That doesn't invite your interjection.
Oh, his model's posted in Master B, by the way. That's not a model. That's not the globe card model there, Sunshine. You don't know what models are, do you?
Sorry, what? This grey thing with a ball picture?
Yes.
Sorry, what the hell are you having me on? You think this screen captures a model?
Wait, are you talking to me?
You've posted a picture of a ball with you've posted a picture of a ball with latitude lines on it.
You want a physical
I'm just
model?
summarising what you've sent me, presumably to get my response to it. That's presumably why you sent it to us. So you've sent us a picture, not a model, a picture of a ball with latitude lines on it.
You want me to literally
And there's the
send you
third
the mail,
interruption from this wanker. Third interruption.
You've interrupted
wanker.
so many times.
What a wanker globe believer with his
You done
zealot
too.
triggered
I don't
nature.
know
He
what your
knows he's going to be demonstrated a fuckwit, so he's got to talk through 3 renditions of his fuckwittery that isn't a model. What a spastic. You stupid
Okay, are you just
boy.
gonna insult me or
You
you're gonna have
stupid clown shoes interrupting dickhead. This is not a model, you stupid boy. Are you brain dead? Were you dropped on your friggin' head, you stupid idiot? This is not a model, you stupid buffoon. Do you think me telling you off for your stupidity requires your interruption? No. I'm telling you how stupid you are, you stupid idiot. This is not a model. Furthermore, the screen
How is
grab
this
of a
allowed?
picture has got latitude lines. I've tried to tell you 4 times. But you keep interrupting like a belligerent little child, being demonstrated as stupid, which you are. These lines on this picture. Oh my God, it's the 5th try. Just remove this asshole. It's 5 times. Latitude lines on this picture, not model. Measured flat. 5 attempts with a zealot chanting through me. What the unholy hell is wrong with you bigot zealots?
Sorry, Nathan. Can you explain that to me again? I just joined the channel.
Explain what? Guy sent something he said was a model. It isn't. What more is there to understand? He's stupid. You don't need to explain it again?
Why do we need to have a plane to have an axis?
Hold on.
Really? You don't know that?
Really?
The plane of reference is 90 degrees to the axis of rotation. Do you not understand that?
But I can have an axis without the plane of reference, and still there is an imaginary plane of reference.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Okay, so
That's
I cannot,
not true. Demonstrate that to be true, because if I hold up a bicycle wheel and I spin it, okay, I have a plane of reference 90 degrees to the axis of rotation, and I can describe wobble from that plane of rotation. Now, if you're talking about existing on Earth and you're seeing axis where?
I mean, mainstream science is saying that you're not disproving it. Do you know what I mean?
That's not what he asked. Where do we see the axis?
Well, all our scientists tell us there is an axis and they can see it from space.
Space isn't real. There's no sky vacuum to take pictures of axes from. There's no place that you can take these pictures from. If that's your only claim of validity, it's undone by the original assertion. You need a plane of reference to describe the axis perpendicular to it at 90 degrees to it. You've just had it explained to you.
If I would be on the ISS, let's say the ISS.
No, let's not say you can't be. I've just overcome this and you've ignored me and hand-waved me, it seems. Let's just pretend I'm in space. Let's pretend we're talking to Aslan in Narnia. No,
you are
I'm still undoing the thing you've hand-waved. I'm still undoing the thing you've hand-waved. Chanting through me, reasserting the thing you've hand-waved won't work either. No. I'm not going to pretend I'm in Narnia talking to Aslan, 3rd attempt, with him chanting through me. The little bitch can't take being wrong. He needs to assert this little straw man, doesn't he? Let's pretend we're in a sky vacuum that isn't real and debunked by entropic law. Let's pretend we're there and just say this example anyway. No, I'm not going to pretend I'm talking to a friggin' lion after traversing a wardrobe. Either. No, we're not traversing high-pressure gas and going into sky vacuums to be on the ISS. It's not real. If it was, we'd all be dead. So no, I'm not going to pretend in your face that we're in...
Right?
Oh my God, 6 attempts. This is zealotry. Can't cope with me saying, no, I'm not going to fantasize with you, bitch. No, I'm not going to fantasize alongside you about a place that isn't real, you little bitch. Oh, you little bitch. You can't take it. You've got to chant through me summarising the end of your point being annihilated, you little bitch. No, you're going to chant through that, you little bitch. That's because you're a zealot bitch. You're a zealot bitch who can't take losing. Zealot bitches who can't take losing need to chant through their opponent winning. Because somehow me winning means he's going to talk through me. Why allow this, moderators? Why allow it 5 times? Why allow it? The little bitch thinks that by chanting through me 5 friggin' times, that's going to overcome the fact that I'm not going to go to Fantasy La La Land with him. But if he chants through it enough times, he can say it again. Let's pretend we're in a sky vacuum violating natural law. And if I chant through it enough, Nathan won't get to say that fact that undermines my entire bleeding argument. I'll just chant through it 6, 7, 8 times so no one can hear how fucked I am, you little bitch. No, bitch, I'm not going to fantasise with you about your zealot belief in sky vacuums. You're a fantasist, zealot, globe-believing bitch, and that's your only way of thinking you can win. Chanting through me with your zealot bitch belief in a sky vacuum. It ain't going to fly, bitch. Laugh it up, bitch. You just got annihilated. Your straw man shite just got annihilated. Laugh it up.
He misunderstood as well, yeah, Alexander. He wasn't saying let's pretend that space isn't real. He was stating that it wasn't real, yeah. It was a statement.
Violation of natural laws is not where I'm going to
So let
pretend
me
I'm
speak now.
being in
Thank
an
you so much.
ISS
Stop
scenario
rambling,
he
please, Brad.
fantasizes
Nathan,
about. No way. That's me winning. Re-summarising the point after I've won. No, I'm not going to pretend I'm in your fantasy world. No. Meanwhile, all the liars who made that man believe there is a place to be, looking back on Earth and its high-pressure gas not filling the black area. No, that's all bullshit and lies that he's fallen for. And he's going to defend with the utmost zealotry he can muster through the top of the annihilation of it. Because that's what zealotry does to you. It's what belief does to you. He's got a religion. A religion in a place he can't go and needs to fantasize and tell me I must fantasize it alongside him. No amount of chanting's going to undo the fact you've got a fantasy area where men lie about being. And you want to be there with them, don't you? It's pathetic.
Globetard zealots, let's be concise with it. Your ISS is in a second law of thermodynamics violation. Do you understand that? Get it?
Can I speak now, or do I get muted again? Do I have to answer to your ramble for 5
Hang
minutes,
on.
or can I just
He just
ask
asked
my...
you a question.
I
He just
understand. Listen, I
you got a
understand that
question.
all your... Listen, I understand that all your premises are everything is fake around us.
Didn't say that.
I understand this.
Didn't
This is
say that.
also
This
my
is a straw man.
permission
This
for
is
this
bollocks.
life,
This is
okay?
bollocks. We didn't say that.
Hold on, Alexander.
Bollocks. We didn't say that. He's just inventing a straw man to attack. All things that nobody said that. He's just making shit up now. We didn't say any of that.
Do you actually think the ISS is fake?
Right, I'm hanging around for another 15 minutes in here, so if anybody in Discord server wants to try and obfuscate the fact your sky vacuum's fake, as it's been the main conversation point, feel free. Got 15 minutes, and then I'll be thanking the mods again.
Yeah. Do you guys think the ISS is fake?
No. Pictures that are claimed to come from a sky vacuum are fake.
Do you have a telescope?
Say again?
Do you have a telescope?
I still didn't catch it. One more time.
Telescope. Do you have a telescope?
Yeah, I've had a telescope, yeah.
Do you have...
Anyway, so you don't have one right now, okay.
Did you not hear me? Yes, I've had a telescope. Then I had children, and I didn't want it broken, so I sold it. It used to be where I'm sat now making this show. What's your point?
What else? What else? This was what I was going to ask in the stage. So imagine you have 100 meters by 100 meters cube, right, made of wood. You put 2 liters of gas inside, just air inside, right? Do you think there would be a pressure gradient inside that box?
It's beyond belief, isn't it? They come in and they go, have you got a telescope? Yes or no? Now I want you to imagine a scenario, because I haven't actually got any proof. I need you to imagine something on my behalf for me to be able to make some kind of salient point. It's pathetic, ballers.
Are you retarded?
Can you just answer the question, please?
Can you just answer me? Are you retarded? Are you retarded? Can you just answer that?
Yes.
We know that.
Now, can you imagine? Right. So, can you imagine a closed room? No one's inside the room.
No.
Right?
No. Why aren't you listening to us? No. No, we don't want to take part in your fantasy about a globe belief that you have with an area that violates natural law. Can you stop interrupting our response to your question about imagineering your fantasy area that you're not in and men lie to you about being in existence in spite of it violating natural law? We will not fantasize alongside you. No, we will not imagine anything. No.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, you're entitled to your religious zealot belief in a sky vacuum you haven't been but believe is real because men tell you that they've been there. We point out it can't be real because gas would fill that area. In line with entropic law, we know it's not real. But you're entitled to believe the lying men who tell you they're in a sky vacuum on the ISS, telling you about how their ISS might be losing gas with tiny holes to the sky vacuum, but they're taking pictures of an Earth with gas on it not filling the same exact area. Total nonsense, which you're entitled to believe in, but we won't imagine it and fantasize it alongside you. Okay?
Okay.
Go in peace. Space is fake, but you're entitled to your belief in it.
So space is fake. So do you believe in like a firmament, like a dome? Do you believe in that or no?
Did I say I did? I said gas fills space. You make the positive claim the sky is a vacuum. I debunk it with natural law. I hadn't made any claims. Don't put words in my mouth. Unless I said that, I didn't make a claim about it.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm asking you what you think. That's all.
I think outer space is fake. The sky vacuum's nonsense, and I think people have been deceived for a long time, probably since birth in most instances, about there being an area with men floating around in it in spacesuits so that they can have yummy gas to breathe. And obviously they wouldn't want to lose that yummy gas to the sky vacuum like the Earth isn't doing in line with natural law. I think it's fascinating that people like yourself believe in that and will defend that belief with the utmost vigour. That I find fascinating. What do I think the sky is? I haven't got the slightest idea. I don't know. Fortunately, I don't make any positive claims about it being a stupid sky vacuum with men floating around in it. So I don't really have to defend much in that regard because I don't make any claims about it. I do debunk the majority of the Western world's idiotic belief that there's a violation of natural law above their head. There isn't. It's just a big lie. There you go. That's what I think. Why do you believe in a sky vacuum?
To lie about, though.
Why do you?
Can I go?
In response, you got a question coming back at you. Why do you believe in a violation of natural law sky vacuum? Why would you believe in such idiotic nonsense? Why do you believe that nonsense?
Well, right. So, if I could just go for a little bit, just a minute, and I'm going to shut up. So, to answer your question, simply it would be gravity, and then a response to the earlier topic would be.
Stop! You invoke
you
gravity. You invoke gravity. No. You don't get to imagine shit here. You can't go on for a long time when you invoke horse shit. Which gravity are you talking about, by the way?
Look, I can respond to that after I'm done. Just 30 seconds.
We don't deal with scattergunning. We just want to know which gravity, Hugh.
Which gravity? I don't know what you mean. The gravity which appears to us in this reality as mass attracting mass.
Sorry. We don't know which gravity. Why are you invoking something you don't understand?
He said mass attracts mass.
That's 109 years. Did he say mass attracts mass? I didn't hear that. Sorry, it's his accent. My bad, not yours. Sorry, Hugh. Mass attracts mass is out of date by 109 years. It was superseded by Einstein. That's not the case. I mean, if it was the case, the gas we're breathing would be going down, wouldn't it? Whereas it doesn't. It expands up and outwards, away from other masses. If there was a giant mass of Earth attracting the mass of gas particles, then we'd have puddles of gas. Whereas gas comes out of the ground and moves away from it, debunking the out-of-date 109-year rhetoric of Newtonian gas being a mass attracted to Earth. It isn't. Gas doesn't go down like bouncy balls poured into a fish tank. That's out of date anyway, 109 years to be exact.
Okay, gravity doesn't make sense. And also, a vacuum doesn't make sense. If there was a vacuum, the air would go outside, right?
Yeah, we know that space is fake. That's what we just spent 10 minutes telling you. We know that's your belief. My question to you that I didn't get answered, and now I'm getting chanted through as I respond with 3 or 4 words, of course. Obviously, that means other people would be talking. It was to ask you why you would believe in that stupid nonsense. Your invocation of gravity has been dealt with. 109-year out-of-date mass-attracting mass isn't real and was out-of-date and superseded 109 years ago. It's now bending of space-time dimension that isn't giving you a force, and there's that interruption again. Is that Hugh? Is that Hugh interrupting the fundamentalist religious zealotry of gravity being demolished? It obviously requires Hugh to talk while I'm talking. No, you invoke gravity and then we took a giant steaming shit on it, Hugh. No, you don't have a sky vacuum. I asked you why you would believe in it, and you offered up gravity, stupid nonsense of mass attracting mass, high school level idiocy, and we undid it. So I'll ask the question again, why would you believe in this stupid nonsense of a sky vacuum violation of natural law? Why would you believe in it?
Right, so I can respond now, right? So like you said, it's high school. I just went to, I had physics in high school. That's why I believe in stuff, just to put it simply. But just to get back to the main topic here is that if I was to believe in you guys' way of thinking, right? Why is space fake? Space is fake because space is a vacuum. And, if it's a vacuum next to gas, second law of thermodynamics, you can't have a gas without a container, right? Gas pressure without a container. right? So my point here is ultimately that if you guys really believe in this stuff and that we do have a gas pressure, then it would entail that there would be a container above the sky, right?
Didn't Elon Musk just
Sorry, there's two issues with that.
people up there?
Oh my God, he was
And he said
asking
it
me.
looks like it
Oh
looks
my
like
God, he was asking me. No, it's not a belief.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
It's an antecedent-consequent relationship. Without the container, there can be no pressure. There's no demonstrations of gas achieving pressure without having something to press on. It's an antecedent-consequent. You asked if I believed in having gas pressure. No, I know we've got gas pressure. I'm breathing it. That's not a belief either. So, no, not a belief in antecedent-consequent relationships, and no, not a belief in us breathing gas pressure. We definitely are. Furthermore, you affirmed we'd need containment for that. Yeah, we would. Therefore, the sky's not a vacuum.
Right. So we have a container now. Is this container? It's a physical container, I'm presuming.
Like, the sky is not a vacuum then. So before we move on, you appreciate and understand that the positive claim of sky vacuum with men in it is fake. You appreciate that now before we move on. We just need a firm conclusion that you understand. I haven't finished asking my question. You want to conclude with the answer before I've asked? Dickhead? Shut your mouth. I'm asking you to conclude you understand that gas fills space, therefore no sky vacuum. You understand that now before we move on.
If I buy into your reasoning, it makes sense, yes.
So if I buy what?
Right.
By what? My second law of thermodynamics? It's not mine. It's a law of nature. By what? My antecedent-consequent relationship of containment for gas pressure? No, it's not mine. It's an antecedent-consequent. My belief in us breathing gas, but none of these are mine. So do you want to just try that again? Before we move on, you understand no sky vacuum, gas fills space. You understand before you start asking me about the container, you were going to obviously appreciate before I finish the statement again, Hughes talking. Why is it 5 attempts to get the concession that is belief in a sky vacuum's bunk? Maybe if you whistle past it by asking me to prove containers, nobody will notice that would mean that you'd have to concede that the sky vacuum's fake. Well, I haven't noticed, you little whistling past the graveyard there. So we're going to stop here, Hugh, without the constant and incessant interruption to me asking you about your concession there that we'd need before we... Oh, maybe the chanting, because it's the 6th time I've asked him to concede his zealotry about sky vacuums. This definitely needs a lot of rumpusing, right? No, we're not going to move on to containment, because obviously to appreciate we need containment, you'd understand that the sky isn't a vacuum, and I just want a firm concession on that before you start asking me about containers. So we understand and appreciate, 8th attempt. You understand, Hugh? Space is fake, no sky vacuum, 8th attempt.
Space is fake, I concede. Space is absurd, right? Can we now get to the containment now, please? I agree. The containment has to be there. It has to be there. If there is gas pressure, there has to be a container. Now, if there is a container, right, that means it has to be perfectly sealed to maintain the gas pressure. Otherwise, there would be a leak, right? So then that also implies, right, antecedent consequent, right? That implies that the container meets the ground somewhere, right? Would you agree with that?
Don't ask me something. You understand there's no sky vacuum. You're back to the same non sequitur that doesn't concede. There's no space. And there is his interruption. This is the 9th attempt. 9th attempt. He's just spoke. I didn't interrupt him. 9th attempt with the same thing. He just subverted and whistled past the graveyard. He's asking me where the container meets the ground. Rather than saying, so you understand there's no sky vacuum, space is fake.
I understand. No sky vacuum, space is fake. I understand. Now, can you get into what the dome is made up of? Now, I'm actually
just went a bit quick.
What
you understand that space is fake. The sky vacuum's fake. Yes?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Beyond that, I couldn't give a crap. You understand now. What? I'll make a conclusion, hopefully, without Hugh immediately yammering through me like he's about to. Thank you, Hugh. I'll make the conclusion now that we've got to the conclusion in regards to your fundamentalist zealot belief that the sky was, past tense as of now, past tense, Hugh, was a sky vacuum. It isn't. You now appreciate the lie of the sky vacuum, like we do, Hugh. Welcome to there being no space with spacemen in it that's fake, like you just conceded. What's that? You've got questions about the containment we must have, and you're going to ask them of me. Oh, I couldn't give a crap. I and you now, present tense, understand that space is fake. There is no sky vacuum, Hugh, and that's the prevailing and predominant focus that I'm going to retain from here on forward. What's that? You, not me, have got questions about the containment that we must have, making space fake. We wouldn't be breathing. Yeah, we wouldn't be breathing if your religious zealotry in space was real. And you've got questions after that. Well, good for you. Maybe you'll find out. You, not me. We'll find out about that container we must have. I don't care. I just know that you've all got a religious belief in space. And it's not real, like Hugh just conceded. Didn't you, Hugh?
Right, I conceded. The curiosity.
Yeah, you did. Space is fake, Hugh. Yeah, beyond that, I've just told you that I don't care. I'm sure you're going to ask me a question anyway and completely ignore what I've just said with a big grin that we all know and understand that space is fake and everything else is inconsequential. Questions about the container, you can worry your precious little former globe zealot with a fundy belief in a sky vacuum head about. Not me. You go and find that container edge you want to look into. But we know space is fake together, you and I together, in the present tense, know that space is fake. Very important that we conclude with that. Rather than moving straight on to questions that you've got about the container. You've got them, I don't care. I just know you've all got a religious belief, and I want to conclude with that rather than with you zammering through me like your course can't cope with it. Yeah, there's not going to be one clear conclusion. Hugh's got to chant through it because it upsets him that the conclusion and focus is on how space isn't real. He wanted the conclusion to be subverted, whistle past the graveyard and start talking about my claim about the edge of the Earth and the container meeting it. It wasn't. It was a little straw man, so you could whistle past the graveyard of fake vacuums of space. But here I am grinning and focusing on it, where you wanted to scurry straight past it to the container and flip the burden onto me to prove that edge that meets the ground. No, that's your folly and fascination now. You know space is fake. Hugh. And he took 10 attempts. 10.
Yeah. Can I go now? Can I class? Okay. So
well, you can. You could straw man me. Maybe his question was rhetorical. You could straw man me with something that's non sequitur about the after the fact space being fake container that you started with last time when I gloated about how fake space was, or you could rinse and repeat and start asking me about downward biases. You've got a few options as a fundy zealot that does not want to relinquish it, even though you've absolutely conceded already that space is fake and tried to whistle past the graveyard with containment. You've got a few options, Hugh, as you were asking non-rhetorically.
Yeah, it's I want to more so move on from the topic and sort of ask him.
And we will definitely move on, Hugh, definitely, because outer space is definitely fake. And we can move on now we've concluded that point. And I'll thank my audience for joining us and the Discord server for hosting me. So a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord Politics server and the Flat Earth Debate server, who will probably pop along to shortly after this after show has been concluded. Of course, a massive thank you to my G+ panels and you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing and joining as a member, all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.